Alright. Good evening. Hey, that's the graveyard dude. Okay. Going back to Dead Cells. It's been a while, though to be fair, it's been a while for basically everything at this point. Uh, so yeah, I wasn't able to stream the last 2 weeks, which was a bit annoying. Where is it? To the left and down. Give me the scissors. But yeah, basically I wasn't able to stream because of, well, I got sick. Which was a blessing in disguise because it meant I didn't have to go to Berlin. And that was absolutely grand because I fucking hate Berlin. So at least there was something positive in that. Oh wait, traps. But yeah, because of that, I basically couldn't stream for the last 2 weeks. And now I have to basically just get some time in to make up for it, mostly to myself. Bunch of birds, no more birds. Well, fuck. I always love when he just flies away. I didn't know he can miss that. Okay. So there are still some things I can get from the daily, I believe. I don't even know how many blueprints you can get from this. And otherwise, we are back to, well, trying to stick with it. In this case, it's probably gonna be the fireball. I do not know what else I can take with it. Also, it scales off of tactics and brutality. So... if I recall correctly, it does just fully pierce every target in front of it. Meaning, I could use the networking. Since it also applies a dot, which I've heard is really good for networking. Fuck. I jumped into that. Wait, extra jump midair. Yeah, I'll take that. In hopes of finding a... in hopes of finding myself a challenge rift somewhere. On the other hand, I could go for brutality and just build on the purging. That would also be funny, I think. But yeah, there's a lot of things I have to basically catch up to now. That's a no. I don't think it would synergize in any way, shape or form with my fire thing. I saw that. Okay, here's the hunter room. I do want me the hunter grenade. And it is the graveyard dude. I need to hunt. So I want to get to the graveyard. I think they're also in the sepulcher. Which I don't know where it's easier to kill them. Probably the graveyard. Simply because it's the earlier area. Now what I'm looking for with this is probably a second ranged weapon to stack the to get a good stack together with the... Do you apply oil? You apply oil. That's very good to know. Second ranged weapon to stack together with the networking. So the kunai or a bleed weapon is my guess. Actually, if I go this thing and kunai, not bleed weapon, kunai. Kunai is the bleed weapon. Poison weapon. Because I have a feeling that you can throw this together with another one at the same time. In that case, I can go brutality, because most of them have brutality in them. And that does give me a little bit more health. Okay, that's just a door. Wait, since when does OBS... I just realized that OBS has the all messages you write will appear publicly. That you send will appear publicly. That's new. Okay. What is actually incentivized? It is the outskirts once again. Also, who needs that as a reminder? Isn't that kind of obvious that if you write something in a chat, it will be shown in the chat? I think I could probably also use the... what is it? What are they called? The ice shard. I think you could also combine that with this, but that one scales off of tactics and survival, not brutality, so I'd have to actually go tactics for that. I would prefer brutality probably, because it gives you more health. But healing is not gonna be a thing, I don't think. More fire. I still don't have any blueprints. Give me, and I think I'll start here directly just with the networking. Also, I just saw that apparently the Evil Empire team, which did most of the DLCs, if I recall correctly, is working with Konami for the next Castlevania, which I'm not sure how I feel about that, because the Castlevanias are generally a lot more slow-paced than Dead Cells. Like, a lot more slow-paced. Yeah, the networking works great with this thing. And if they try to make Castlevania more like Dead Cells, I don't think I'd be a fan of that. Ice Shard. I think I'd have to switch this here. Yeah. Now, I do no longer have the oil. So I do not crit. But on the other hand, we now have a lot more slow, a lot more damage, a lot more attacks for more stagger. I think that's in general just better. Yeah, it feels a lot stronger. What are you? Brutality and survival. I already have that and I want to keep the jump. Good. God damn it. Okay, the ice shards are actually kinda nice at hitting the bats. Because they automatically shoot upwards, at least a few of them. And then the fireball does aim. I think I'd rather have the kunai though. Because I think if you have just the two weapons with the networking, you will have enough stagger and don't need the slow. Okay, that's a shop. And I think it's gonna be the prison as well. Oh, kunai, perfect. And the kunai auto aim's basically guaranteed to hit, so... Have some cherries. I actually do like cherries. Unfortunately, they aren't around all that much where I live. Or rather, I never get to shop when they are. Since I only get to go in the evenings when everybody's already bought. And there are no more at the shop. Alright, survivability... I will keep the networking. Because just like... that's a weird thing, even if you don't scale it, it scales automatically just based on the fact that... Just based on the fact that it is a percentage-based increase. Like, you increase your damage, and then 47% of 800 are more than 47% of 600. Also, I do have the 60 kills. Non-legendary snake fangs, not interested. Now I kind of just need to learn to actually move on after hitting an enemy. So I can spread the networking further. Whatever is more health. And now we have enemies coming in. Tactic. Why do I attack tactics? No, I'm scaling brutality now. Right. That was not the right spot to spawn in. Okay. So kill everything here. The next thing I'll take is the... God damn it. So the fire does not actually aim as well as the... What do I mean actually? It was pretty obvious. It does not aim as well as the kunai. How did you specifically survive that? What? Oh, you also survived it. Ow, fuck. I'm gonna take the damned vigor. Nah. Not really what I need. I'm gonna take the damned vigor as my next mutation. And then I'll have to see. Like I don't think most of the brutality perks, unfortunately, are specifically for here, melee. So even though I scale brutality with this, it's not gonna be that good. I hate when they're below me. Okay, this is just the ossuary, I believe. Correct. Which would be incentivized, but not really that interested. I want the cursed chest. Where's the next teleporter? Back down to the left, okay. Okay, corrupted prison. I think I saw a gem on the map, but I don't think I need to go grab it. Laser shield or slicer? Slicer. Mostly for bosses. It's honestly probably better than the fire. For bosses specifically. Yeah, this is all melee attacks. Wait. This doesn't specifically state melee, which is kind of interesting. Melee, 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 melee. Melee weapon, melee kills, max melee attack. This just adds damage. Could be good. And this is just more damage. So yeah, most of it is for melee weapons, but not necessarily all of it. There's the damn vigor. I just realized they're sorted alphabetically. How did I not notice that before? Otherwise, yeah, I've been sick. I've been watching a lot of React stuffs while I've just been laying in bed. Mostly, funnily enough, mostly about SCPs. Oh yeah, you block all of my damage. Except you don't, because the fire sets the floor under you on fire. Can you, like, not? Okay, curse is done. Apparently we are staggering well enough. Well, we are staggering everything that can be staggered, which doesn't include those birds. Brutality and tactics. It is one more suffix, including inflammable oil, which is what I need for crits. What is that? That's a legendary. Is that the cards? Oh no, it's my Fire Blast! Ooh! Pyrotechnics. So I still don't exactly know how that legendary works. Like, it's... Well, the last shot of the combo absorbs by flames to grow and deal 15% more damage per flame absorbed. I don't know what flames it means, but... If it's the one on the floor... I don't know, not tactics. The... Ow. I assume it's the one on the floor. The flames on the floor, which is great because the kunai can get the leaves a flaming trail modifier, which would in turn probably increase the damage of the legendary by quite a lot. Okay, so apparently you can stagger the bird even though you can't stun it. And then this thing just explodes in a big AoE. I overlooked the rat. A better sinew slicer or cards? Picked up. Now, what is the next incentivized area? Not the ramparts, which is it actually? Dracula's castle. Oh. So we go and fight death. Actually, I could go to the concierge, I guess. If we go fight death, I kinda want the lacerating aura. To get rid of the scythes. Can you get me? Well, I'll take a victim of bleeding spirits. I would have. I hoped for the. Do I take the cursed flask? The tainted flask. You know what? Sure. Okay. So we're just gonna go apply dots. A lot of them. If I could get a poison, but I don't think you can get poison on either of those. Ow. All three. Sure. It's a lot more health, and I need to drink. Now there is, if I recall correctly, a food shop in this area. And that food shop will help me. Actually, survivors, I should have taken survival there. I need to check again how long the networking lasts. 8 seconds. Which is actually quite long. Ghost dances. This really looks like a room where you're supposed to get a blueprint. And I don't know if it's not, and I'm just imagining that, or if I got it and forgot. And I hope it's not the latter. Because if I can live with being wrong, but I hate forgetting things. Did you? You did not also die. Magnet grenade. Not really what I need. It would deal extra damage to bleeding targets, but I don't think the magnet grenade deals damage at all, so 100 times nothing is still nothing, unfortunately. Actually, it would only be twice nothing. Which, again, is still nothing. You do spread inflammable oil, huh? Oh, you leave trails of flames. Which, again, should increase the damage of the legendary thing here. Otherwise, the last stream I did was the Glenwald in the last spell, which I am very happy I managed to beat that. Because the Apocalypse levels are getting stupid hard. And apparently they have changed a few things afterwards. Specifically, they have improved. They have buffed a few things, which would have been great to know beforehand. All right. Wait, what are you? Food? No, money. Which is nearly as good as food, if you have anywhere you can buy food. I thought he would turn around. Maybe I should have bought up. Yeah, the stagger. Honestly, the networking, the stagger potential of networking is surprising to me whenever I look at it. That is the wrong man to mug, ass. The Takuna exploded and everything just fucking died. Okay, where to now? There's a scroll fragment I missed, so go grab that. There's also a wall I missed. And there's the way up. More brutality. I really wish it showed you somewhere how many elites you already killed for the flask charges. And I'm honestly surprised it doesn't. Another chest. No, one of them cursed. Actually surprised. Ooh, cheese. Brutality. A better kunai. Is it a better kunai? It is a slightly better kunai. Do I want that? I don't think it's worth that. Oh, you are the left roof. That is good to know. I just realized that the spear guys here have a slightly different armor to the spear guys in the castle. And in the high castle. Okay, Black Bridge. Which is the concierge. Which would be an easy, just a very easy to do flawless, I'm pretty sure. How the fuck did you take so much damage from one hit? Apparently my fireball deals a lot more damage than I anticipated. Okay, so the fireball, not great against flying enemies. I mean, I guess technically it's better than a melee weapon. Because it does aim very slightly, but like comparatively, not really. To like the whip and the kunai. 30 kills, unfortunately not the 60 I need. Okay, so that's everyone. Do I want the wrecking ball? Not really, but yeah, I guess I'm gonna just sell it. Is it technically selling or recycling? I'm not exactly sure how to recycle a wrecking ball for 850 gold, but... How much does a wrecking ball actually cost? Like, are they just made out of steel? Is there tungsten wrecking balls? Is there tungsten wrecking balls? Like, how hard is tungsten? I know it's just extremely dense. Like, extremely heavy. I think the radioactive stuff is heavier, though. Like uranium and plutonium. Hit your balls. Fuck. Can we stop it with the stupid balls? Okay, we switch to stupid sights. Also, I did not get the... I did not get the flawless on this one. And the flawless ones, I'm pretty sure, are the only things I'm still missing from death. Ow. That was, however, the first time he hit me with his scythe. Alright. Not as bad as I could have been. I did note that I was running out of kunai ammo repeatedly. War Javelin, unfortunately not today. Okay, let's see what is incentivized now. However, I feel like I'm actually just gonna prefer going to the graveyard. Fuck, it's cursed. Oh wait, they're also in the Fractured Shrines, aren't they? Yeah, no blueprints. Slumbering Sanctuary, the Bankstilt Village. I know I can't go to the Fractured Shrines, fuck. In that case, do I just go to the bank? They do not... you know what? Fuck it. I have Damned Vigor, I can't just go to the cursed area. And I need to specifically get one of the graveyard guys, the hook guys. Boomerang. No. One of those guys, specifically. Now, how exactly I'm gonna do that without killing them, I am not certain about. Because I don't really... I'm not really scared of dying to them. I'm scared of them dying to my dots before I can grab their soul, basically. Ooh, carrot. I should grab the scroll first. Oh, there was one. Fuck. Exactly, that was what I feared would happen. Holy shit. Legendary boots. Not what I'm looking for, though. I was stunned permanently. I don't even know what hit me for the first kill there. I assume it was probably Shockwave, and I didn't even know that the projectile from the cursed guy deals damage. I was generally unaware of that. Still the same dude. Okay, what do we roll? That is an 8. So the second set, which is the Ice Bow, the Frantic Sword. How briefly does briefly freeze? Apparently long enough. Damage otherwise doesn't seem too hot. That is probably a weapon that, strictly speaking, just straight up requires a frostbite mutation. But at some point I'm gonna have to run with it, so why not now? You'd probably really just want the frostbite and the barbed tips. What else do they do? Upon thawing, enemy suffers bleeding, enemies hit by this will thaw more slowly. So this is already the slower thaw. I should probably go with survival or... Should probably go with survival tactics if I run with this weapon. Most likely, probably survival. Alright, where do we go? Probably not the toxic sewers, I guess. 1, 2... It does not even... So reapplying the freeze does not count as... Fuck, wrong direction. Reapplying the freeze does not count as them thawing up, which is very unfortunate. Yeah, this doesn't feel like a great weapon, not gonna lie. But under assumption that dots don't wake enemies up, you'd probably want to get some kind of dot in. Like the barbed tips and stuff like that. Barbed tips and frostbite. And then maybe get a weapon that deals extra damage to frozen targets to finish enemies off. Which I don't think there is specifically any weapon except the ice crossbow, which crits on frozen targets. But there is a modifier for it, so I'm just gonna go with that then, I guess. And it is basically a permanent just you don't move debuff on a single enemy, with the exception of bosses. Like, bosses will not give a shit about this weapon, I'm pretty sure. I think I'm gonna go with survival. Oh yeah, these guys are probably also just gonna laugh at you. Except, apparently not. A cocoon? Well, for now, I can't really buy anything because I need the hunter grenade anyway. Which is... not here. Okay. I need to remind myself that I could technically just go to Malaise 2 to have enemies spawn in the first level, and then just hunter grenade them. Or maybe I just get 2 deployables with this. That is also an option. I should, however, make sure that I don't get anything that just sets people on fire. Because that is kind of an umbo. Okay, promenade. There's the hunter grenade next to the shop. And then we go to the Arboretum. Did I really just run out of enemies to kill? Is there not one more enemy? No, there is not. Fuck. Also didn't see a challenge rift. Could have been that it's just down with Castlevania. They're cute with the big bags on their back. Not really. Alright, start me off with the Frostbite. Actually, this is 40 DPS per stack of slow. Counts as having max, which is 5, so 200 damage. And you are... Where's the... Oh, if I go with the barbed arrows, I should definitely go for 46 DPS per arrow stuck to enemies. So the Frostbite is just... It stacks faster, which is more important. Specifically, it stacks instantly. Now, what weapon would work well with this? Like, honestly, probably just something that has... I think it's 175% extra damage to frozen targets. Two seconds, I don't think that's good. Alternatively, a weapon that gets me ammo back. Which I could technically take the... There is a mutation for that which dislodges 6... Well, I'm just gonna have to leave for a second. Fuck. I don't remember what it's called, but it's basically just you hit an enemy, you get 6 arrows back and deal damage based on the arrows dislodged. Which I think works with any melee weapon. But if I go with... Yeah, then I definitely want to go with tactics. Oh, you already deal extra damage to frozen targets, so that's good. Let's see if we can actually pull stuff like that off. So the combo would definitely be just... That already deals quite a lot of damage, that axe. God damn it. Okay, so there are 2 shops below me. I don't like this labyrinthine area. The Arboretum is normally not that bad when it comes to that. I think I'm just gonna stick with what I have. Look at me. Be frozen. Also... I thought hitting a frozen enemy just wakes it up. Was I mistaken in that assumption? No, these guys definitely woke up. Why did others not? Doesn't actually matter. Holy shit, I kinda like these axes. Wait. 5-hit combo. Actually, it's a lot more hits if you consider the shards sticking out. But I don't really. Actually, how many hits would that be? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 plus the 5, so it would be a 14-hit combo. Okay, that kind of explains why the shit deals so much damage. Though I feel like the... Yeah, go with tactics. When you strike enemies inflicting approximately 602 damage. Question is, do they stick to enemies and do they count as arrows for the... mutation? Morass of the Banished is incentivized, huh? Can you come down here, asshole? Yep. I think I'm just gonna run with these axes for now until I find something else that... Ooh, the Nutcracker maybe, but that isn't tactics. I have a feeling the axes scaling off of tactics are just better based on that alone. Also, the ice bow cannot crit, which might also be just a bit of an issue for that. And then, tactics. I'm probably already a bit late to the damage game. Yeah, not all enemies thaw. When you hit them. Which is very honestly just kind of confusing to me. Like, you'd expect all enemies to thaw or not thaw. Maybe it's a damage threshold? But then I feel like this thing definitely deals enough damage to hit a threshold. Further to the left. Ooh, a better ice bow. Is it better? Shots pierce all enemies. Sure. I think that qualifies as better. But yeah, this is definitely a slow run. These axes I kind of like more and more. Okay, so down there is definitely the prison. Pieces all enemies sound strong, especially with a bow that has a type of CC on it. But damage is really just atrocious. On the bow itself, that is. And therefore the question becomes, do you keep that bow? I mean, in my case it's not really a question because the answer is yes. But would you try and work out a combination with the bow to work? Or would you just go, nah, fuck this. I'm just gonna hit people with a big hammer. Right, so question. So for now I definitely just take the damned vigor. But then the question becomes, do I take the barbed tips in hopes of dotting enemies to death? Or do I take the... which one is it? The Ripper. Shoot enemies 6 times and then hit them with a melee. For now, damned vigor. Because if you only have 7 arrows, which is basically what the Ripper hits out. Fuck. It did not, in fact, pierce all enemies. I have to say, unfortunately. Or maybe it just shot too high. Why wasn't he frozen? He should have been frozen, I'm pretty sure. Also, yeah. Slay the Spire 2 is released. I bought it on a whim. Which is honestly kind of weird because I didn't even like the first one all that much. But maybe the second one is just better. Also, dice. 13, third set. That's the Flawless. So that works. For some reason. It really feels like these ice shields are just way too good. Not as a weapon themselves, but as an enabler for other weapons. Survival? Survival. Also, if I recall correctly, the Flawless does count as a slow weapon. At least I'm pretty sure I had the enemies. I think you can note sometimes I still cough. I'm pretty sure I've gotten a slows all enemies on it already at least once. Flawless, of course. A lot weaker if you're not flawless. Now, the ice shot should be able to allow me to use the hunter grenade basically just for free on anything. And I honestly have the feeling I'd want the... Ooh, tombstone. Now, from what I've seen, the tombstone works similar to the Bible in that the third hit does something. Specifically, I think if it kills, it hits all other enemies on them with a tombstone. Like with the same attack. It looked strong, but I feel like I'm not really the player for that. Because I'm not really preparing enemies to be hit with it. I just, like, bongo on one of them until he's dead. And then I bongo on the next. Which is also kind of a problem I have with the networking. I'm not really going around trying to hit every specific enemy once so the networking applies. And they all die together. Which is weird, because Hitch is something I use in Hades a lot. Well, Hades too. Also, there's the hunter grenade I just saw. Holy fire. Right, so what do we have? Where do I actually go? Toxic sewers, which is the area down there, right? Now, survival does give me access to the necromancy, which is always appreciated. Swift sword. Nah. Okay, just go up here, eat my carrot. Maybe I should sell it. I really want to try the ice bow again. Because I feel like it's probably one of the better weapons to work with the Ripper with. Like, shoot an enemy 6 times and then hit him with a Ripper, which already should be like... In that case, it would have been like 1400 damage. Which is 7 seconds frozen with a frostbite. For now, give me the kill rhythm. Yeah, that should be good. Yeah, Notable still sick. Ow. Fuck. I'm honestly kind of surprised at how little my Malaise is currently. Also, the kill rhythm is a lot easier to use if you can just hold both buttons at once. And don't actually have to think about which button to press. Whatever is more health. The first hit is really short in range, which I don't like. But it hits the birds, so I guess that's kind of a trade-off. Though the third hit also hits the birds, and it's a lot longer range. Ooh, legendary parry shield. Stuns any enemy parried. Right, unfortunately you're just gonna go in the backpack. But that at least gives me a reason to get the Armadillo back. Left is a treasure room. Just get me an upgrade. Left could also just have been the path forward. I think left was just the path forward. Alright, more survival. Oh, it's this dude. Wait, doesn't he have like some extra stuff? Yeah, he has some extra stuff now. At home, it's just a bit of money and an amulet, but good enough. Alright, damage. Nah. Okay, first off, you need to die. Then this gets sold. I have a feeling you kind of want to, if you go with brutality and you want healing, you should take the Tainted Flask as the first thing. Just so you spawn more elites. Corrupted prison, so that's where we go later. Go to the left there first. Fight snake fangs, and not today. And then to the right is just a shop, okay. I hope it's just a shop. But I don't think I'll buy anything, so yeah, it is just a shop. Nope, it goes further. To another treasure room. Ooh. Which is Hokuto's bow. Right, not today. Not really lucky with my challengers today, huh? Okay, so that's Dracula's castle, if I recall correctly. The legendary is a legendary. What will it be? A root grenade. Victims root nearby enemies for 2 seconds. Wait, does that cascade? Like, the root grenade doesn't deal all that much damage if I recall correctly. But if it cascades, that could be very funny. Yeah, Dracula's castle. There is a Hayabusa's boots. Behind the golden door, unfortunately. And ancient sewers, right. What do we have over there? There's another, and there's a scroll fragment, which I definitely want to go grab. There's another scroll fragment there as well. Right. I can sell the sickle. And I can sell the explosive crossbow, which should be a total of like 1,000 gold. Now, the root grenade has what, 12 seconds cooldown? 16 seconds cooldown, which is a lot. Also, the nearby targets is not as nearby as I'd like it to be. Okay, so that should be everyone. Now we go to the corrupted prison, which is not. No, wait, there was another scroll fragment, right? Now we go to the corrupted prison. Also, let me do something for a second. Right, that's the problem. Right, I'm gonna have to do this later then. Okay. Ooh, did I get 60 kills? Misericorde. At some point, I'll do a run with it. But that point is not today. Right, get me the damned vigor. I feel like the Misericorde is a bit weird because it would probably suck real hard against bosses. I assume it probably deals a lot of damage and then it crits on enemies below 50% health, I believe. And if it kills... if it doesn't kill... you... if it doesn't kill, you get... yeah, I kind of expected that. I'm gonna need a necromancy. looks so weird. Because they have a particle effect whenever they parry something, and the ice shots throws 3 things. Fuck. Did I only have exactly 1 health on? Unfortunate, unfortunate. Well, for now, I'm gonna log into my Google account here, but not on stream. For now, I'm gonna say goodbye. Right, I'm gonna just roll the next weapon, which is an 18. Yeah, and then I'm gonna not continue, because I don't think I should talk a whole lot more today. Ooh, scissors. Or the kunai. Take the kunai. Anyway, yeah, with that, I'm gonna say goodbye for now. And probably take another little bit of cough syrup. For now, have a nice week. Yeah, hope you have a nice evening. Hope you have a good night later on. Hope you have a nice week. And otherwise, goodbye.